Hello everyone, and welcome to another video. Now before I actually continue on, you may hear a loud hissing that'll actually come on. That is my heater, just to keep in mind. Sorry, I really can't turn it off just because it'll get freezing in here if I don't. So I apologize for the extra noise that will almost undoubtedly be in this video. Alright, so with that, as you can see from the title, today we're actually going to go over my top 10 night out or clubbing fragrances. This is only going to be the designer side. I'm actually going to be doing another video with the top 10 niche fragrances that I consider my top 10, night out or clubbing fragrances for the niche side. This is only the designer side. Yeah, that's pretty much self-explanatory, all right? So, before we dive into it, I always like to give a little bit of explanation before I actually begin my top 10 list, just for clarification, because I tend to get a lot of questions afterwards, all right? The first thing that I want to keep in note is these are my top 10 picks. In other words, they're not a magazine, they're not a top 10 compilation or anything like that. These are what I feel are the top 10 best, and there's that hissing sound that you can hear. These are the top 10 what I consider best designer fragrances for the club and for going out, basically, or night out fragrances. They're just my personal list, all right? The second thing, what am I looking for in a night out or a clubbing fragrance? One, I'm looking for something that it's going to project a little bit more. So almost all of the fragrances on this list you're going to find are fragrances that have a little bit more oomph or a little bit more kick to them. People are going to smell you. They're going to notice you a little bit more. They're a little bit more, type A personality type things or type fragrances that come out that really, come out and jump out to you. And that's for a number of reasons. But I guess you could say the primary reason is when you're in a place like the club, you're often competing with various other scents, whether it be body odor, whether it be other fragrances, whether it be, just the smell of liquor, alcohol, whatever it may be. It's competing with other things just all around. And so for that, you want it to be a little bit stronger. You don't want it to be more of a skin scent than some other fragrances are, okay? So those are really the two main criteria. And the third thing is I did not divide it up by season. And the reason I didn't divide it by season is because you really can wear these year-round. I mean, I usually choose different seasons to wear them, but you can really wear any of these fragrances year-round and just regulate how much you spray based off of what season that you're actually in. So if you're in the summer, go a little bit lighter. You don't have to go that heavy. If you're in the winter and it's really cold out there, maybe you might want to go a little bit heavier, okay? So just some things to actually keep in mind, all right? With that, let's go ahead and get started into the actual list. First, I have 3 honorable mentions. First honorable mention we have is from Rojas Man, basically. Sorry, a little bit of a brain fart there. But Rojas Man, basically, it's from the house of Rojas. It comes in this little dildo-ish, butt plug-ish looking like thing. But either way, for those of you who have not smelled this actually smells very similar to New Harlem, or Michael Jordan Legend, for if you don't know. So it's very sweet. It's very, I want to say, almost sickeningly sweet, but not as bad. It's actually pretty smooth on it. It's got a little bit of a breakfast type of a feel to it, but it really does mesh well with the skin. Honorable mention, Rojas Man. The next honorable mention we have is the only real, I guess you could say, true citrus in the group. And I wanted to put it in there because I do think it works really well for it. And that is L'Odyssée. Right? This is one that's been around for a while, very popular on it, and it actually works excellent for, those not necessarily close encounter, but for those night outs. It has the projection, it has the staying power, and this is really one of the main reasons why I actually put it on this list, is because it does have those qualities and those capabilities. It does cut through the nightmare, but I just feel that the ones that are in front of it are a little bit better for those suited situations. So it has this nice yuzu note, this nice citrus note, very sharp, very clean at the same time, and very pleasing to many people's noses. All right. And the final honorable mention is from the house of Chanel. We have Chanel's Allure, which is pretty much the flagship or the original Allure from the house of Chanel. Still often gets overlooked in many people's lists, but it is still such an excellent fragrance. It came out a long time ago, but at the same time, it's still not dated. It works excellent. I consider it an archetype for many type of fragrances that smells very similar to this. It's got a very nice mature vibe to it. It's got a very nice laid-back vibe at the same time to it, but at the same time, it has power to it. It has oomph to it. It has backing to it. Chanel's Allure All. So into the top 10 list. At number 10, we have from the House of Kerimuglu. Now, one that probably people aren't really expecting, I am going with the original Angelman. The original Angelman to me holds a very significant power, I guess you could say power play to it. It, has this very dark chocolatey vibe. It's got a lot of patchouli in it as well too, and it's a projection monster. It's a projection monster. It's a performance monster. When you're wearing this one, people will definitely smell you in the club. They will be able to smell you over other people, and it has those qualities. It's very unique on that too. I actually haven't smelled that many people who are actually wearing this, and it does garner a good amount of compliments from women as well too. Some people, it might mix a little bit weird on the skin, so for that reason you might want to try out it on your skin, see how other people take it, but definitely one. Number 10, Angelman, the original one. Number 9, from the House of Van Cleef and Arpels, we have Midnight in Paris. Midnight in Paris is another one I believe that often gets overlooked. It's got a very nice, close to the scent, powdery type of a vibe. Now, the powdery type of vibe is not feminine. Some people may say it is a little bit feminine, but on skin, I found out it comes to be a little bit masculine, more masculine than many people actually let on. It's definitely a unisex fragrance, and females can wear it as well as men, but it definitely works well for those clubbing scenarios, and especially for those night out scenarios. It actually works better as a night out scenario fragrance better than a clubbing fragrance. Okay. Number 8. This one was a little bit of controversy, but I put it on the list specifically because it does garner a great deal of compliments. You might have to be a little bit heavy on the trigger, though. Actually, you will have to be heavy on the trigger, and that is Dolce & Gabbana's The One. Now, The One, excellent fragrance all around. It has this kind of fruity note to it. Very nice, very mature type of a vibe. Excellent for night out fragrances. For a club fragrance, it's not such a great fragrance. I mentioned earlier that you're definitely gonna have to spray a lot on it, and you're definitely gonna have to do that with this one. That said, this one is a compliment monster from both men and women. Absolutely does it, in those scenarios perfectly, basically. You're gonna get compliments when you wear this. The key is, can they smell you with it? So go a little bit heavier on the trigger, and it'll suit your needs just fine. Coming in at number 7, we have a very popular one in the fragrance community, and it is none other than L'Instante Guerlain Extreme, the extreme version. Now, sorry about that. You probably can't really even read the L'Instante Guerlain writing, but either way, this fragrance, now, you may be looking at this fragrance and seeing that I barely use any of this. Well, there's a long story behind it. There's actually a lot of this juice that has actually been used. The reason this is my most reached for fragrance with regards to people or guys coming over and, we launch or leave my place basically and we go out, this is the most reached for fragrance. Out of all the fragrances that they have to choose from, they're always reaching for this one. And I have a whole bunch of, decants of this, and that's why this is barely used. They just spray on the decant basically. And what has been used is when they try it on basically. But yes, this one, an excellent both clubbing and both night out fragrance. I personally have found it, and people have argued with me on it, I found that it actually attracts more men than it does women. I've had some women say that it's, at least on my skin, say that it smells like bug spray. But I have seen a couple of my friends, rock this to the max basically, and women absolutely love it on them. And that's why it's on this list, because I've seen it have the sort of impact on people, even though it wasn't directly. And I know this is, yes, my list, so I'm sort of cheating on this, but L'Instante Guerlain definitely goes up there for those reasons that I mentioned. Number 6, a classic. We've got, or a classic at least now, we've got 1 Million by Paco Rabanne. Bubblegum, sweetness, very loud. That's Paco Rabanne's 1 Million to a T. You put this one on, people are going to smell you. You spray a lot on, especially, people are going to smell you from miles away. This is one that to me was like made for the club. This was made for those clubs, those night out scenarios, those scenarios in where, you know, it's going to be loud, it's going to be in your face, and it's going to smell good. There's really no two things about it. The one real downfall for this one is I have smelled this around on people a lot, so it's very popular on the scene, so a lot of people are going to be wearing it. The only other fragrance that I think that I've smelled more on people is probably Le Male than this one. This one's a close second. And Acqua di Gio is probably third I've smelled. But yes. Okay. Number 5. We have from the house of Versace. Versace Eros. This is a new release. A relatively newer release. I personally find this one an absolute fantastic fragrance for going out at night. To me, this is like a slightly upgraded version of 1 Million. They're not the same scent by far. Definitely different scents, but I've been asked this question, you know, what would you rather have, Eros, or would you rather have 1 Million? And I finally really settled on it. I would rather have Eros over 1 Million. Eros has, you know, that's a same a little bit of a, I want to say, spicy sweetness type of a quality to it. It really brings out tonka bean in this very nicely, basically, and does absolutely excellent. Lasts a long time, and will have people. This is actually funny story about this one. This one, somebody in my gym wears the hell out of this because after they're done, you know, working out, they throw this on, and the whole gym stinks of this, basically, or the whole locker room stinks of this, which is not a bad thing because sometimes the locker room just smells horrible, and this freshens it up. So Versace Eros got another one. Coming in at number 4, one of my personal favorite, one that I will continue to hype as long as I'm wearing it. It is from the house of Express Reserve. I'm actually going to start thinking about getting a bigger bottle to replace this one. I'm pretty sure that I'm going to run out at the rate that I've been using it. So, Express Reserve, we're talking about a little bit of an alcoholic, like a bourbon, a rum type of a smell to it. I think it was bourbon. Yes, bourbon I'm thinking of. And then it's got a vibe that's very similar, I want to say, to like Dolce & Gabbana's The One, where it's got a little bit of a fruitiness type of a vibe, a very mature type of a vibe, a little bit of a sweetness type of a vibe to it, and a little bit of more of a laid back. And I wear this one out, night outs, like crazy. Absolutely love it. People love it on me. Compliment getter to the max. Love it. Express Reserve. Number 3, from the house of another one from the house of Chanel. This will probably surprise some people, and that is one of their newer releases, Allure Homme Sport Au Extrême, the extreme version of Allure Homme Sport. This one I found, and I've given it to a couple people, especially people that I know at work, and this has been a crazy compliment getter, especially going out, you know, at night. Absolutely fantastic. It has the projection, it has the power to really last, and the dried on this, it's got this kind of tonka bean type mixed. I want to say that kind of reminds you of if you smell Allure Homme Sport, it's got sort of a, I want to say, for lack of better words, a sporty type of a vibe that is mixed in with the tonka bean, and for some reason it just drives people crazy. And it's on my night out, on my clubbing list for that reason alone. Definitely get your hands on this one if you're looking for a scent and looking for something, more importantly, not to smell like other people. This does have a different type of a vibe to it than the previously mentioned fragrances. So, Allure Homme Sport Au Extrême. Number 2, from the house of Yves Saint Laurent. Still one of the fragrances that I recommend all the time to people. It is YSL's La Nuit de l'Homme. Clubbing night out fragrance. You really can't go wrong with it. I think it's absolutely fantastic for those purposes. Women absolutely love it. Men absolutely love it. It's still to the point, even though I personally think it's a very popular fragrance. I don't smell it that much on people, and it still catches people by surprise. So you really can't go wrong. YSL's La Nuit de l'Homme. And the number 1 fragrance that I would consider for going out, I would recommend number 1 before anything else. Dior Homme Intense. Dior Homme Intense. This is actually the original formulation. I don't really know much about the other formulation past of it, But basically what you're going to get from this is sort of a lipsticky-ish type of a vibe. Now, absolutely, it sounds weird, and everyone says lipstick, lipsticky type of vibe. It's basically iris in the scent, but lipstick, chocolate type of a vibe, and trust me, it works. It works, and it is excellent for a night out fragrance. You really can't go wrong with Dior Intense. I have yet to really recommend it and have anyone, throw it back and say this just didn't work for me. I just haven't seen it. I'm not to say that it doesn't work, but it's just the success rate is just way up there. An excellent fragrance, and it is my #1 night out fragrance from the designer side. All right. If you have any questions whatsoever, please feel free, send me a note, do whatever you got to do. Thank you. Take care of yourselves and have a great day.